Salutare și bine v-am găsit la primul episod din Podcast-ului InTheZone, unde vorbim despre lumea sportului într-o altă perspectivă. Astăzi îl avem invitat pe Garlon Green. Deoarece Garlon este american, va trebui să trec în engleză. Hi Garlon, happy to have you here. Appreciate that you stopped by and I want to congratulate you on the qualification on the next round of FIBA Europe Cup.
Appreciate it.
So let's go. I want to start far behind, start way back. I'm curious, what age were you when you started playing ball, and why did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
The age that I started playing basketball was around like 3, 4. It was really young. Like my brother really had a basketball hoop that was like the kids' basketball hoop in the middle of the living room, and obviously he was playing on it. But for one Christmas, when I was on my fourth Christmas, my father finally bought me a basketball, and I started shooting it, and I made 5 baskets in a row. And my father was like, "Oh!" And then from there, I just fell in love with it. I was just so excited, remembering that. I remember that to this day, honestly.
So you had it in your blood since the beginning.
Yeah, it's crazy because my older sister, she's 14 years older than me.
Oh.
She was a big-time basketball player. She even went to college on scholarship, and she drove my older brother to play it, and he drove me to play it.
So it's a family thing, and you're keeping the legacy alive.
Yeah, more so, I just fell in love with it too. I don't really think of it as I followed, into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something they loved, and the love from, I loved it just as much.
Have you played any sports besides basketball?
Yeah, I tried football. I didn't like it as much. I actually really like baseball, but
Yeah.
I never really had the chance or was invited to any teams. I just was only playing it in the street,
Yeah,
with
just for
friends.
fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah. I want you to tell me more about the recruitment process and how it works, because in Romania the system is very different. There is no such thing as a recruitment process. And about this process, how big is the competitivity, the hunger of players playing over there? It's like a jungle, I know that fact. And what you need to have in yourself in order to be a top recruit, and how you were in this process.
So when you ask me about recruiting process, do you mean professional, amateur, or
Professional?
Professional.
Why did this to be a professional in America?
Man, to be honest, the way I came into it is different and will be different from the next professional or amateur player coming into the industry. But I can only tell you about my experience. My experience was my college career was over. I was a senior. I graduated college. Then immediately there was agents, just agents period in America, reaching out to me on Facebook and Instagram, social medias and stuff like that. And from there, I basically, just went through the list, who I liked the most, did a couple interviews, picked a guy, and from there he, promoted me to teams overseas because I wasn't getting much interest in the NBA. So that's how I started my journey. And
so you have to fight continuously and battle.
Absolutely. If, wherever your shot lands you, wherever the opportunity lands you, you take that opportunity.
You can't play with opportunities.
No, because, one opportunity can make or break you.
Yeah, can change your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So, Garlon, we have something in common. We both have a bigger brother. My brother is bigger than me by 6 years, and I think yours is bigger than me by 5 years. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And man, we had a lot of games in the backyard. We played, we had fun. You know how it goes. And how was the growing up in that competitive environment, having a bigger brother? Have you learned what you learned about life from him, and also how much you love each other now as grown men?
Oh man, the love is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, a lot more than when I was kids. There was a lot of hate back then. But you know, it was love hate because the competition, like
Always,
what you know.
always.
But it was, you know, again, that living room, man. I'm telling you, that same goal I told you about when I was 4 years old. As I grew up, it became one-on-one battles in the living room. And my brother was just so good, I couldn't beat him. But you know, it was fun.
I always told him like I would kick his ass when I would be bigger. So.
Yeah, me too. I would say the same thing. Oh, wait till I'm big like that. I'm gonna kick your ass. But you know. One thing I will say about my older brother is, man, I've never seen someone work so hard. And his work ethic has, if one thing I've taken from any of my siblings is their work ethic. My sister works extremely hard. And I know the work ethic that she showed, my brother took from her. And he spent it in his own unique way. And I did the same. I took some stuff from him and I spent it in my own unique way. And for sure, 100% for sure, I couldn't be anything in life if I didn't take this work ethic from him. And because, you know, he just showed me, honestly, he showed me the attitude to have when you make your decision to do something, to just do it, but do it with 100% commitment and work. And I'm telling you, I've never seen anyone, he's the hardest working person I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of people work hard. I've been around other NBA players. I've been around other successful people, and he's definitely one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
He's a great player, for sure. And it's amazing to have a bigger brother like that.
Yeah.
And he definitely had a positive impact.
Mm-hmm.
So after completing your studies, you played in the NBA G League, you bounced overseas, you played for a lot of clubs, you went to Japan, Germany, Australia, Russia, Israel, Poland, and now in Romania. And that's a hell of a journey, man. A lot of cultures, you've been around the world. And how hard was the transition from America to Europe, and how different are the European cultures between them?
The culture is different for sure, you know. But even in America, we have different levels of culture as well. But no, it's not the same comparing to that. It's completely different. But for me, I just tried to stay open-minded. You know, when I went to Japan, my second year, I kind of learned that. I had to learn to be super open-minded about, you know, playing overseas, and because that culture was even more different, honestly, than
It was a culture shock.
Yeah, it was a huge culture shock. But so by the time I was able to first play in Europe, I've already had the experience with Japan, so it was a little bit more of a breeze, but still a bit culture shock, and just being open-minded, like being able to try new things, try to speak different languages, try different foods, being able to just, you know, try different ways of life and understanding different perspectives has helped me.
Would you give any advice to any rookies that would have the opportunity to play overseas instead of going professional in America?
Yeah, just keep an open mind. I think that's the only advice I can give that I've used. It's not always easy. I will say sometimes you're stuck in your old ways, but the best you can do is just keep an open mind and obviously stay focused on your goal. You know,
keep working.
You know, but the open minds.
Okay, man. So talking about this long career overseas, and you've been to a lot of places. Right now you're playing for CSM Oradea. And what made you choose Oradea over other destinations?
To be honest, when I was deciding where to go, because I was leaving Poland, I seen that CSM Oradea was a club fighting for something, and now and pretty much in my whole point of my career has always been to fight for something. I've been on teams where I felt like I was just playing basketball. Like I was just in the backyard and we were just playing ball, and it didn't matter if we won or we lost. You know what I mean? And I'm not necessarily saying this is wrong or right or whatever, but it's not really what I play basketball for. I bleed this game the passion.
Play to win.
Yeah, the passion for me that I have for this game is at a burning desire, and I have to share that with people around me. And I seen that in Chess SM, and so I just wanted to be a part of something like that.
So that this culture that was built over the years here in Oradea, I think it's matching your desire to play and win.
Mm-hmm. Just being ambitious and wanting more and striving for the stars has always attracted me.
Very beautiful. Did you know anything before Romania, before moving in, and what are your thoughts right now about the country?
Honestly, I did not know what to expect, to be honest. I've heard about Romania, but I didn't know. I've never been. I've been once to play against Cluj in an away game in the FIBA Cup a couple of years back, but I didn't know much. But Romania's been great. Oradea has been great. It's a lovely town. It's a lovely city. My kids and my wife are happy here. The people here have been nothing but nice and friendly, and I love it here. It's nice here. But I'm
happy to hear that, and that your family is feeling good here. Mm-hmm. But you know, Killan, you do a lot of crazy things. Like I've seen it between the leg dunk and the warm-up, like it's nothing. And I want to ask you, what's your favorite move, your go-to move, besides dunking, of course?
Probably some sort of fadeaway. Yeah,
I see that.
I'm so athletic. So at some point, you know, players try to cut off the basket, and I have to go to a fadeaway or something.
Like Kobe transitioned his game from, since he played with 8 to 24, he went from a 30 guy to fadeaway.
Yeah. So I honestly, I'm working on more of this stuff, like all day, all night, all the time, and just trying to be more of just a dunker, you know. I know everyone is excited about my dunks, and I try to provide them to excite the fans, you know.
For sure, those dunks give a lot of energy, even if there is crowd right now. We don't have crowds at the game, but I've seen you do a lot of crazy stuff, and you're more than just a dunker.
Yeah.
I think you're a complete player, and as you said about the fadeaway, and I referred you to Kobe.
Yeah.
Did he had, God bless his soul, of course, did he had any impact on your life? And
man, Kobe, I should say Kobe's YouTubes, because I never met Kobe, never had a chance to meet him. But I would research and look at his moves all day long on YouTube, became fascinated at one point. And just try to mimic it, you know, but not just Kobe, Vince Carter. You know, a lot of people think of Vince Carter and they don't realize how good he was with the Raptors, you know. Yeah. Like, he was more than just a dunker, but it comes with the territory. I get it. When you're athletic and you can kind of wow people in a way, you know,
this image is built up and you're just a dunker and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's normal and I'm okay with that. But these players like Kobe, you know, Tracy McGrady, Michael Jordan, Vince Carter.
You model your game after these guys in
try to be, you know, because I'm 6'7", 6'6" ish. I have this similar body style type, so I just try to mimic my game in these ways. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm them, but
of course,
as I train, I try to train and to perfect my game.
You always, and for the younger players, you always have to look at others, even if it's not the biggest game, or you can go to any game of basketball, any game of any sport, and you can take some little things and add it to your game and make yourself better. It's very important to take any opportunity to develop yourself as a player.
Absolutely, really, because you can't get better if you just, don't watch film on others and see how the game is developing around you.
Of course. Steph Curry revolutionizing the game, and how important it is to have a free ball in today's basketball game.
I love Steph. I'm not gonna lie. He's honestly, man, I watch his videos too a lot, honestly. Can't quite shoot like him, but Steph Curry is such an amazing player, such just the way he plays the game is, you know, I don't think a lot of people imagine seeing, now he's, you know, a lot of players are coming in wanting to be like him and things like that.
Maybe we even see Trae Young.
Yeah, you know, but his game's amazing, you know, the way he shoots the ball, obviously he's the best shooter of all time.
Of course. No debate.
Nothing. Who can compete, but yeah, having a 3-point ball, even in Europe, everywhere really. If you want to be, you know, I think for a young player coming into the professional basketball industry, if you know want to play this game all the time, develop a 3-point shot in any position you play.
Any position.
Yeah.
It's a very important part of your game right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a big family man, a great father. You have 2 wonderful kids and a beautiful wife. Can you tell me more about how did fatherhood change you as a man?
A whole lot, honestly. You know, having kids has been the biggest, hugest blessing in my life. It kind of like slowed me down and, you know, make me appreciate, you know, little things, you know, when you have someone else to truly, even, you know, being married to my wife, having other people that depend on you and to care for. But it's been great, honestly. It's slowed me down. That's the biggest thing I would say is.
It's beautiful to have a supporting family as yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this can be a sensitive question maybe, but regarding all the Black Lives Matter movement that happened recently and all the problems that still exist, I'm curious how you were treated here in Romania.
To be honest, I've been treated fair everywhere I've been, you know. I don't really necessarily, okay, everywhere you go, you have people that, you know, aren't really used to seeing, you know, African American people or people of color, or, you know, you have people who are just rude, just flat out just rude. But to be honest, I've been treated kindly in most places I've played overseas, and it's been a great journey, thankfully. It's been a great journey for me. I met wonderful people everywhere I played. You know, what's happening in America is, you know, it's something that's been going on a long time, and, you know,
we are all the same. First of all, we are all humans, and we should share love.
This is love conquers all things. Like,
it doesn't matter the race, the color. We should respect each other and treat everyone the same.
I agree.
I've been a professional athlete myself, and I went for a lot of bad moments or ups and downs that nobody knew about. What advice would you give to some young athletes that are in a bad space mentally and suffer from anxiety?
Oh, that's a good question, honestly. There's a lot of things to do. I would say for one, speak to someone. I think community and finding someone to speak to is the best thing you can do. Building a support system, because sometimes people may not have a support system, but because you don't have one doesn't mean you can't build one. And I think for someone who feels like they're in a stage where, you know, they're going through some type of mental funk, seeking help, speaking with someone that you're familiar with or someone that you can go to. And if you don't have someone to go to, find someone. Be willing and open yourself up to speak, because I think it's healthy to get your issues out instead of hold everything in, that eventually they come out in the wrong way, you know? And,
that's facts.
And to work on it, you know, it's something that you have to work on. To be honest, I've been through some of that myself, and I'm thankful enough to have a support system in my wife. Honestly, even my young kids, my brother, my family at home, or who are, you know, friends. But sometimes I've been in moments where, you know, I didn't feel like I had anyone, you know what I mean? But I had to open up, I had to seek help, and I would say try this, you know.
You should not be afraid to seek for help.
Yeah.
Sometimes will still come.
Mm-hmm.
You should maintain your goals if you have some, or if not, you should make some objectives. And even when it's not going well, you should keep going, working. And as you said, it's not. You should not be afraid to contact somebody and talk about your problems.
Exactly.
So you're a professional athlete. You played at the highest level. You've been also in the New Orleans Pelicans roster, and even your brother played in the NBA. So you know what it takes to be a professional. What advice would you give young athletes that have dreams of playing in the NBA or in the EuroLeague or the high stages of basketball?
So what advice would I give them to who wants to play in this level?
Yeah, at the highest level. What it takes to really be great.
Man, it's a blueprint, and there is no blueprint. Is what I'm trying to say. I said it's a blueprint. There is no blueprint. I have many friends that played the NBA, many friends that played high level EuroLeague, many friends that are now making millions of dollars in China. I have a brother in the NBA. Everyone did their own route, their own way. But everyone worked hard. Everyone sacrificed.
They believed in themselves.
And everyone believed in themselves for sure. So even though your route will be different, I believe these three things. So believe in yourself. Believe that you can play at a lot.
Yes, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will.
Who's going to? No coach will. No player, no agent. No one's going to believe you can do it. So for one, you got to believe you can be there and you should be there. So believe in yourself, work hard, and sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice your time, something.
Yeah.
So
you should be willing to sacrifice. We are coming to an end. We will soon do a quick segment question.
Okay.
But before going to that, I want to ask if you have any projects coming up in the near future. I heard some birds talking about something.
I have a book coming up. Honestly, it's crazy because a lot of your questions I'm answering in this book. This was crazy. That's wild. But no, I have a book called Crossing Borders, and it's basically to help young rookies coming into the professional industry to just give them some type of older brother advice. Through my experiences, obviously, just like making it to the highest level, there is no right or wrong way. But from my experiences and my perspective, some advice to help someone navigate this industry.
Of course. I think you will inspire a lot of young athletes, and you will have a positive impact, which is what we should do as human beings.
The book is, honestly, I wrote it just to help. I came into this industry even with an older brother. My brother has given me every advice he could, but I love him, but there's only so much he knew, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody has their own story.
Their own limits, and we all, even I'm an 8, 9-year pro, and there's so much I have to learn about this industry, you know what I'm saying? Still, even after writing a book and talking to you and playing and this, knowledge is infinite, of course, you know what I'm saying? But I'm writing the book to kind of give a young rookie a head start, and wishing that I had one, even with my brother, because I didn't have one. I had one more than the next rookie when I came out, so hopefully the guys who don't have an older brother like me or don't have someone to
no guidance,
nothing, maybe they can pick this book up and hopefully it helps them and guides them in some way.
I hope you hook me up with one book.
Got you. You'll get several.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. So now we are coming to an end. We're gonna have a quick segment question. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What's your favorite NBA player of all time?
Why you put me on the spot like that?
I had to.
All time favorites? This has to be number one.
Or you can have a list if you have your own list.
I gave you my list already, honestly.
Yeah, you gave me.
Okay.
T-Mac, Vince.
T-Mac, Vince Carter,
Your brother.
Kobe, obviously my brother, and Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So MJ is the GOAT, right?
MJ is the GOAT, but I just Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Kobe. I love these guys so much.
Tracy, Mac, I mean,
Yeah.
even Kobe said he was as good as me, but bigger.
Yeah, he was great, man.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite artist? If you have one, what's your favorite artist right now?
Music?
Yeah, musically.
Music artist. You know what's weird is I've started listening to more old school music.
Oh.
Yeah. So right now, it's hard to say my favorite artist. It's a bunch of old school.
You can just tell me.
I'll say my favorite artist is Creata. I like this guy. I don't know if you know who this is.
I don't know who he is, but
He's an American artist, but it's like kind of like house music-ish and hip hop at the same time. It's kind of hard to.
It's a mix.
It's a mix, yeah. It's American, though. He's American.
Oh, nice.
But it's good. Look him up.
Okay, I will.
Creata.
Okay, just nothing. So another hard one this year. This will be the last hard one.
Okay.
What's your favorite country in where you live?
Wow. Romania. What? It's like
Really?
okay. My favorite country, to be honest. To be honest, I have to give you honesty.
Of
It's
course.
Australia. And I'll tell you why. Because it was so close to home. Meaning, like,
It was good for you.
for me, as far as like, everyone spoke English. It was, you can get by, you can go to the beach in 1 hour drive. Like, for me, that was it was nice,
Yeah.
Romania is really a great country, but my favorite has been Australia.
Yeah. It's easy not to go back home. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
The weather is
Nice, it was warm. But the seasons are flipped. So just like right now is the summertime.
really.
Yeah, in December. So for Christmas, their Christmas is
It's on the beach.
they're outside in bikinis with a Santa hat. For real, talk. And then in the summer, it's winter for them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different.
It really is. And last thing for you.
Okay.
So if you could recommend a next guest for the InTheZone podcast, who would it be?
This is the easiest. This is the easiest. I want this on camera. Christopher Richards. Let's go, Chris. Let's go, Chris.
I'm waiting you, Chris, see you soon. So, happy that you've been here. I appreciate everything. You spread a lot of wisdom, great answers, and you're a great man. I wish you the best, and I wish you have a great season.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.